expectations, concerns? Just what are some of the thoughts from parents heading into this school year?
Well, what I'm hearing from parents is excitement to have another year back in school in person. But at the same time, there are concerns because we're already seeing that there's long-term subs or no staff assigned to classes as kids are getting their schedule. There's questions about busing and how kids are going to get to school. And so again, it goes back to some of the same issues we've seen year after year, but they're only worse, unfortunately, in some cases, especially when it comes to like the staffing shortage, which is a big concern for families. If they don't know who's going to be teaching their child, that gets very unnerving.
Another major issue with CCSD has to do with safety. Recently, they announced an investment in some changes at El Dorado High School, Clark High School, cameras on buses. There's some other things down the pipeline. Is the district doing enough to protect the children from a parent's standpoint?
The number one thing I'm hearing from parents is show me how it's actually going to work. Because a lot of things sound good on paper, but then when it comes to putting it into practice here in the Clark County School District, we see that it's inconsistent from school to school. Maybe one school has it, one school doesn't. One thing's being enforced here, it's not being enforced there. And that's really what parents are saying. Well, it sounds good, but really what is it going to look like for my kid in their classroom?
You know, the district is investing money in this. What solutions do you believe need to be done district-wide?
Well, the number one thing that really keeps kids safe is making sure that there's enough adults on campus. And that's one of the challenges that we're not being able to see addressed right now. And it doesn't always have to be teachers. Support staff positions, whether it's volunteers, which are still a challenge to get into campuses in many cases in CCSD. The more caring adults that we have available on campuses, the better kids are supervised. They have adults to go to when they're experiencing problems and can get help. And so yes, these hardening of campuses, whether it's fences or cameras, security measures, those can be good, as well as additional policing can be a positive thing. But at the end of the day, what we really need is to make sure our campuses are adequately staffed and have volunteers and family engagement so that parents are part of the solution. And that's where I think CCSD is lagging behind right now. Local
control, that was that's from a legislative mandate from a couple of years ago. The State Board of Education is sort of looking into this, suggesting that the CCSD is not following what it legally has to do. From your point of view, is CCSD doing enough on that local control aspect, whether it's engagement with parents, with students, and with funding?
You know, it's an interesting question because so many people say they want decisions made at the local level, but the number one complaint that I hear from parents is the lack of consistency and inequitable distribution of decisions or resources in the Clark County School District. So there's got to be a way to balance that where you can make local decisions at the school level, but also ensure consistency in a district where people move all the time.